guys, today I thought we could do a just trying a little bit of new makeup kind of video because I don't do a lot of these, but I realized that I have a lot of things in front of me here that I've been sent or that I've bought that I would like to just test out, and I figured why not do it all in the same video. So the first couple of things that I have is something that I got from Focallure. Now, I have made a video with Focallure products in the past. I will have that linked up in the corner, and I honestly ended up liking most of the things that they sent me, and they offered to send me another package. This time I didn't know what was in the package, whereas last time they kind of asked me to pick out some stuff from their site, so I didn't know what I was getting. So some of this stuff might be things that I'm probably not going to be using because it's just not really me, but there's also a couple of products here that I'm very intrigued by, and so I'm gonna start by just showing you those. So we have one of these Sunkissed monochromatic blush duos. These are supposed to be dupes for the Cover FX ones, so obviously I am all over this because I love those things, so I'm excited to try that out. I also have a highlighter here that I do want to use, and they also sent me some brushes. I'm gonna take these out. They came separately. They came in a pouch, and then they came as like a brush set, but they sent me both. And I just took them out and put them in here because it's just easier to store them that way. So I do have a set of brushes here that I would like to use. Obviously, I've done my foundation and my like base. I just haven't done like blush and highlighter and stuff, but there weren't really any like face brushes in here anyways. So I couldn't really use any of these for that. And let's see, what else do I have from Focallure? Anything. Yeah, I do have an eyeshadow palette here. This is the thing that I just don't think that I'm going to use because this is just not really me. Like, first off, this is a very large palette, and you guys know I don't really like big palettes, so I will show it to you though because it is a nice palette and I feel like someone else would really like this. So this is called the Endless Possibilities palette, and here is what it looks like. So let me open it up so I can show you the inside here. So this is what the palette looks like. Now, to me, this looks very much like the original like Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. I don't know if that is just me, but it's very, very similar. But I don't know, there's just something about this palette that just, it doesn't really speak to me, and so I don't want to like use this when I can rather give it new to someone else. Like, I feel like someone else will appreciate this so much more than I will because I know that if I use this, it's only going to be for a video, and I just don't think that that's fair, you know? So instead of using that palette, I'm actually going to use my Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. This is the one that I got in the mystery box bag, whatever you want to call it. I haven't used this. I've used one shade right here, just like in my inner corner once, and that's it. So I do want to test out this palette. I thought maybe you guys would be interested in me trying it and hearing my opinion. I think this is getting discontinued. I really don't know, but I still want to just give it a go, you know, see what the hype is all about. And I also have some lip products and stuff. So I have two of the mini lipsticks from Mc Grath here. I have tried the other one that came in the set, but I don't know what I want to use, so I just wanted to show it to you. I also have this one Melt lipstick. This one I got in, where did I get this? I think I got this for free at Sephora, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of like a metallic pink, and it's new, so I was like, you know what, maybe I'll try it. Maybe this is a gloss. I'm not even sure what this is, but it's a beautiful color, and I feel like it would go really well with my hair right now since it's blue. So I want to use that, and I also have this eyeliner from JD Glow. This is one of their, I don't think it's a multi-chrome, it's probably like a duochrome eyeliner, so maybe we'll use that as well. I don't really know, but like I said, I do have some new products, and I just kind of want to sit down and have some fun and try to play with some of these. So I think we're going to go ahead and start with the blush duo because that is the one that I'm the most intrigued by. Now, I have opened this and looked at it, and it looked absolutely beautiful. And I do really like how the Focallure products come packaged. I do have a code with Focallure if you want to go check out the site. I'll have that up on the screen as well as in my description box. So this is what the packaging looks like. So it looks exactly like the Cover FX ones. It's like the soap bar that everybody calls it. And I kind of agree with that. So here's the color that they picked out for me. This is like such a me color. Like, I love this. It's like a mauve pink. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to try this. Let's do some swatches of this just so I can see how pigmented this is. So just as with the Cover FX ones, it comes with a matte side as well as a shimmery side. So it doesn't look like these are super pigmented, which is probably good for a blush, and it's going to be easier to apply this. So I'm going to go ahead and take this biggest of the brushes that was in the brush set because I feel like this is going to deposit the least color. So let's go ahead and, okay, so that is definitely very pigmented, but man, oh man, do I like that color. Ooh, that's quite a nice formula, and this brush is so soft. I'm not mad at this. I mean, that is really, really nice. I love that color. I don't love the size of this brush, but I do really enjoy the softness of it. I will say from the brush set that I do have from Focallure that I tried last time they sent me a package, it's not like the best quality brushes. They're not bad by any means, but they're not gonna last you years and years. You know, if you wash them often and stuff, they're gonna fall apart because some of the ones that I have already kind of started to get loose in the ferrule here, so that's not like the best sign. But I do think that if you're looking for like very inexpensive brushes and you kind of want to just test out some brushes to figure out what kind of shapes and size brushes you like, maybe that could be a good place to start. So this is definitely going on like very pigmented, and I don't feel like I'm able to blend this out properly with this brush because it's just not the kind of brush that I like to use because it's a little bit too big. But I am going to go in with the shimmery side here on top because that's how I like to use my blushes from Cover FX, and this is going to kind of tone down the blush that I already have on a little bit, and it should give this like a nice little sheen here. So I think that looks really nice actually. I feel like the only difference between this and the Cover FX ones is that the shimmer side is a little bit darker and more pigmented in the Cover FX blushes, whereas in this one it's almost more like, not a highlighter, but I feel like it could be used for both, you know? And I feel like I'll be using a lot more pink blushes now that my hair is blue because it's just going to complement it a little bit more. Not that I usually care what I use depending on my hair color. Usually I'm just like using whatever I'm testing out, and if that turns out to be something that doesn't complement my hair, oh well. So let's go ahead and open this highlighter. I've opened this as well. As you can see, it's like ripped apart because I suck at opening things, and I don't know why I even bothered to want to show you the package. Did I even tell you what the shade name of the other one here was? This one is in the shade Marshmallow Kiss. Oh, that's so cute. So this is number 8 if you were wondering. I think these are awesome. Like, I kind of want to get more of these already. So this highlighter is called the Diamond Glow Highlighter, and it's in the shade 02 Fairy. Here is what the packaging looks like. I don't know how well you can really see that, but it looks to be a very, very sparkly highlighter. Let me open it up so I can kind of show you the inside of this. But this reminds me so much of the Bitter Lace Beauty highlighters that I have, just like looking at them. So let's go ahead and give this a swatch as well here. See what this looks like. Okay, so that's basically just like pure glitter, and it doesn't seem like it wants to really stick to my hand. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with some setting spray before I apply this. Or actually, let's try without it first and just like see how it goes. But I do have a feeling that this isn't going to like really stick to my face. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a brush here that I can use. So I'm gonna take this little eyeshadow brush, which I like to use smaller brushes for my highlighter so I can get a bit of a better application. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, I actually really like that. I wasn't sure at first if that was going to actually stick to my face. It's got a very beautiful like pink sheen to it, and I don't feel like it leaves a cast at all. I do think that I would prefer to use this as a topper on top of like another highlighter just because of how glittery it is, but that is beautiful. I honestly really like that. So I am going to try to just spray my face a little bit and put on some more, just see like how intense we can get this. So for that reason, I like to use my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist because it's such a fine mist. And then now that this is still wet, I'm gonna go in with that same brush and just apply a little bit more here. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. I really like that. Okay, honestly, I am so pleasantly surprised. Not that I didn't think I would be, but like sometimes you swatch something and you think it's not going to be that great, and then you put it on your face or your eyes and you're like, wow. Like, that's not what I expected at all. That's kind of how I feel with this. I'm gonna go back into that blush and just use like the brush that I would normally use with this and just kind of see if I like the application a little bit better, because I just feel like it's looking a little bit patchy here. So I'm first gonna go in with the matte side again and just make sure that I get like a bit of an even application. I think my problem with the brushes is that the bristles are just a little bit too long, which means that you just don't have as much control with like the way you blend, because it's just a little bit like flimsy and it's kind of like fluffing everywhere. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just kind of how I feel. And I feel like if you have like a brush that's maybe a little bit more dense but also doesn't apply like too much color, you might look at me and be like,
Annette, what do you mean? Like, this is way too much color?
But I really like being able to just have a little bit more control with my brushes, and I'm also very particular with the brushes that I do like. So just because these aren't my favorite brushes doesn't mean that they're bad brushes. It just means that I know what I like in a brush, and these just aren't like my favorite types of shapes and size brushes. But I do think that some of these eyeshadow brushes are looking kind of nice, so I do want to test out those as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by priming my eyes so we can get into some eyeshadows here. I do want to try out one of these brushes to blend out my eyeshadow with, because They have like one of my favorite types of brushes to do this with, which is like a fat shader brush, I guess I could say. Something like this. This is really nice to blend out eyeshadow primer with, and I really like a brush like this, and I feel like I can never have too many because I don't like to use the same brush with like cream products like this more than once. So, and I also don't like washing my brushes a lot, so the more I can have of these, the better. And this is just doing a great job. I mean, wouldn't expect anything else from a brush like this. Okay, so let's open up the Thirsty palette and see what we can come up with here. So I don't know like exactly which direction I want to go in. I'm kind of tempted to test out this shadow right here because it's such a pretty shade, but I don't know what I want to pair that with. Like the thing with this palette I feel like is that all of the colorful shades are like kind of on the lighter side, so if you want to deepen it up with something you have to go with a brown because there's just not really any other options unless you want to have a very subtle look. So maybe I will do more of like a subtle look today. I don't know. See, the thing is I also want to use this eyeliner and I just don't know if this eyeliner is going to go well with any of these colors. Maybe if I go for like kind of a not neutral look, but you know what I mean, something maybe a little bit more on the subtle side. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this into my crease and then possibly deepen it up with this brown down here. And then I don't know what I want to do on my lid. I feel like all of these are like a lot, especially since I'm going to use this eyeliner. But let's just first start off by taking the shade called Bitch. I love that. So I'm gonna take that on this kind of bullet looking brush. I really like brushes like this. This is a very nice size brush for me. This is like the smallest, I would call it, blending brush that was in the set. So let's go ahead and see how this applies. I've heard pretty good things about this palette. I don't think a lot of people don't like it. I think the only complaints I've heard is that the yellow and like the kind of turquoisey blue is not that great. So I feel like I'm gonna like this shade at least. And I can already tell such a big difference between using this brush and my refer brushes because once you get used to using natural hair brushes, it's just such a different experience because they just pick up and apply color so much more intensely. So when I go in with a synthetic brush again, I'm like, okay, I need to build this up. But the color of this is beautiful. I really, really like this color. Ooh, that is stunning. So I'm just gonna put this in basically my whole crease here and then start blending it out into a transition shade. Okay, not gonna lie, I really like this color and I really like this brush. So far we are off to a good start, I would say. So I'm also going to take this color down to my lower lash line. I've decided, so I'm going to take this other brush in the set, which is just a very, very small kind of smudging brush, and I'm just going to use that to place down the color here, and then I'll go in with that other brush again to really blend this out. But this is a perfect size brush to really get underneath your eye and put down some color next to your lower lash line. So I'm going to switch to the other brush now and just buff this out. So next up I want to take a bit of Drizzle, which is this darkest of the browns in the palette, and I'm just going to use this to deepen it up with. So I'm going to first start in my outer corner like I usually do and just pull this through my crease a little bit as well, just to make sure we get a little bit more definition here. I don't want this color to necessarily take over the look, but I just want to add a bit more depth. And this is a good way if you're like a little bit scared of color and you don't want to go absolutely crazy. Using a brown to deepen up a color with is always like a safe choice because it's really going to tone down the color that you put in your crease, but it will also add a pop of color, and then you can just go in with whatever you please on your lid really. And the nice thing about deepening up with browns is that brown is a neutral color, so it's going to work with basically any colorful mattes that you do put in your crease. Sometimes you might want to stick to like a warm brown if you're using a warm, color in your crease, but I feel like even using a cool tone brown is going to work fine. Just taking a little bit of this just on the outer portion of my lower lash line as well. And then I'm going to go back into that crease shade and just really make sure that the crease is looking blended. And I think my plan after that is going to be to do like a very soft half cut crease and then probably put that nude colored eyeshadow on top. Like I said, I don't want this eye look to be like crazy because I do want to use that blue eyeliner, and I really want the eyeliner to be like the focus of the look, if you will. So I'm gonna switch to one of my own brushes here because I don't really have another brush that's clean that I can use to really do this with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a lot more of that crease color in so I can blend these two colors together. So let's go ahead and do the cut crease. I'm going to use my P. Louise base here because I have it, so I might as well use it even if I don't really like it. But I'm gonna take this on a bit of a fluffy brush here, like I would apply shimmer shadows with, and I'm just gonna put that basically all over my lid here and kind of be a little bit rough with it and blend this out. Like, I don't want this to be a super structured look, so as you can see, I'm not being like very precise with the line here, but I just want to make sure that that new colored eyeshadow that I put on top is going to kind of pop but also blend into the crease. So just like a little bit like this. So that was super easy, like I said, not precise in the slightest, but I just want to have a bit of a base down here so that I can cover up some of that eyeshadow that I got on my lid. And the nice thing about this too is that even if I'm not super precise, I can just put down that shadow and I can go back in with my crease shade. So I'm next going to take this color here called Parch, which is just like a nude colored matte. Again, not going to be precise with this. I'm just going to pat that on top of where I put down this base just to kind of set it. And I didn't want to use any of the shimmers in this palette for this because I just felt like they would all be way too intense for the look that I'm going for. That's kind of one thing I'm a bit confused by because I feel like these shimmers are very much like super intense and like metallic shimmers that would be more meant for, you know, like party looks and stuff, but then you have the mattes that are very much on the soft side, so I just don't really feel like this shimmer formula goes with the colors of the mattes. Does that make sense? Like, maybe it's just me and maybe I'm the only one who feels that way, but that's just kind of how I feel about this palette. So I'm next going to go in with a bit more of that crease shade that I first used here and just kind of run that through my crease again to make sure that both sides are looking even here. Okay, so let's go in with this eyeliner now. Now I do want this to be like quite a thick line, and what I want to do is I want to do like a thick straight line with this, and then on top I'm going to go in with a little bit of a black eyeliner just because I like to have like a black base right closest to my lash line, so I want to be able to make sure that this is thick enough that when I go in with the black I can layer that over without it taking over the whole thing. So this is from JD Glow. It's one of their liquid gel liners and it's in the shade FaceTime. It says it has a 12-month shelf life, and here is what the applicator looks like. So it's a very, very thin brush tip. I don't love these and I feel like it's going to take me forever to get this on, but we're gonna try this anyway, and I feel like this is going to look perfect with my hair. Oh, this color is beautiful. It's a very sheer though. So maybe what I should have done is I should have put down a base of something else first maybe, but I'm gonna try to build this up here. So it definitely does build and it's getting nice and opaque. You know what this would be really nice for? I want to look you in the eye, but I can't really open my eyes right now because it's going to transfer. But this would be really nice as like if I do a cut crease and then just do like a glitter liner in the crease. I think that would be beautiful. So I feel like this is looking really nice and it dried down pretty quickly. I haven't been sitting there for too long and I think that I really like this. Honestly, my only complaint is that I wish that the brush tip was a little bit thicker and it just picked up more product because it took me so many times to dip in to be able to get it to be as opaque as it is. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a bit of my liquid liner here and just gently trace like the very, very bottom of my lash line here just so I can get a bit of black definition. Now this is when I wish I didn't have hooded eyes and I could make like a big wing with the blue, but reality is I just can't do that, so I'm gonna do a little baby wing here with the black. And I know people are probably gonna be like, oh, you should just tightline, but you know what, I've tried that so many times and I just can't do it. Like, it's so uncomfortable for me, and I have quite sensitive eyes, so it really just makes my eyes water and it ruins everything. So I wish that was a step I could do, but I just can't, and I can see now that I've gotten like blue eyeliner on my eyelashes, which kind of looks cool, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna finish off my eyes. I'll probably pop a nude in my waterline just to keep it kind of simple. Put on some mascara and then I'll come back and we can do some of these lip products together because I don't really know what I want to use yet. Okay, so the eyes are done. For my waterline, I use Honeydew by ColourPop, which is just a nude eyeliner. And I used a bunch of mascara as always. I don't know if I really have any lipstick that I feel like is going to go with the look. Now I will show you the little two mini lipsticks that I have from Mc Grath here. I don't know if the video where I kind of swatched these have gone up yet because that was in another like trying new makeup kind of video. So here are what the colors look like. I feel like both of these are going to be a little bit too warm tone. I could possibly use this one. I feel like this would be like the closest match to what I feel like would go good with this. I don't really know, and I definitely don't think that that pink lip gloss is going to go with this look at all. It's just not really going to work. So I think the one I'm going to use is probably the orange one from Mc Grath here. I also do have this like lip ombre kit that I got in my goodie bag from the event that I went to. This is from Hot Ombre Cosmetics. Comes like this. It's just a liquid lipstick. This packaging though, it's so cute. Like I haven't tried this yet, so maybe I will try this. Maybe we'll see what this is going to look like. So here's what the container looks like. So it was like a dual-ended one where you're supposed to use these to ombre with. Now I'm not the biggest fan of ombre lips on myself just because I have very small lips and my top lip is very small, so it just looks very disproportionate if I do like an ombre. So this is the darkest of the sides here. I feel like that's not really gonna go. Maybe this lighter side will be a bit of a better match. This is definitely like very nude, so maybe I feel like that would actually probably work. So maybe I'll try to pop this on and see if I like this formula at all. I don't know anything about this brand. I don't know anything about this product, so might as well try it. So let's see if this is gonna work. I feel like the color is like okay with this look. I don't even know what kind of lipstick I would have chosen if I could choose whatever. I think it's okay. I think it goes with the look like fine. I don't love the formula on this. It reminds me a bit of the ABH lipsticks, which I know a lot of people love those, but their liquid lipsticks are just a little bit too thick and drying for me, and I feel like this is kind of similar. Like I can definitely feel this drying down, and my lips are looking very wrinkly right now, so I don't love that. Maybe I'll take this off and pop on the Mc Grath one instead, just so you can see what that one looks like, because I'm not going to wear this anyway, so might as well. Yeah, that barely comes off at all. That's frightening. So here's what I use when I literally cannot get off a lipstick to save my life. This is the Maybelline Color Eraser. This is all I have left. I need to buy a new one because this is like such a must for me. But it's basically just a lip balm kind of consistency that you put on your lips, and then once you take it off, it'll come off super easily. So I would go as far as to say that I hate that lip product. Like that was just terrible, so drying, so thick, just very uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this Mc Grath lipstick instead. This is in the shade Beautiful Stranger, and we'll see if this is looking any better. I feel like this color is gonna go well with this look as well. Yeah, I definitely think I like this color a lot more. I will say formula-wise, it goes on very, very creamy, but I find it once it dries down, it's a little bit thick. It doesn't wear the absolute best, and it doesn't look as creamy and nice as it does like upon first application, because now it's looking really, really nice. But I found that last time I wore this, I wore the lighter one in the set, and it just didn't wear the absolute best. I don't hate it at all, but if I had to choose like a matte bullet lipstick, the MAC ones are by far my favorite. So I guess that's gonna be it for my trying out some new products. Let me know what you think of this look. I'm actually really happy with this look. As for my thoughts on the products, there's nothing I really despised except for that lip kit. Like that was terrible. Like what was that all about? The Jeffree Star palette I really like. I mean, I thought that it performed really well, even though I only used mattes, but that's kind of what I wanted to try out in this video anyway. Let's see what else. The brushes are okay. There's just not my kind of shapes and sizes. Some of the eye brushes were fine. The face brushes were just not really what I look for in my face brushes, so I can't really, I don't want to judge them based on anything else. It's just not really my style. The blush duo I think is beautiful. I want to get all of these. I might even make an order and use my own code and just buy them all because I think these are great. The highlighter is really nice too. I also popped a little bit of this into my inner corner just to tie it all together, and I think this is beautiful. I will say it's faded a little bit now that I've sat around and done other things, so maybe I will put a little bit more of this on. The only complaint I have is it's so hard to open this little compact, but I feel like it's probably going to loosen the more you open it. Oh yeah, you cannot have too much highlighter. I mean, some days I feel like you can, other days I'm like, just pile it on, like it's never gonna stop. It's never gonna be too much because I just want to shine. And I used to hate like super intense highlighters, but I've kind of come to like them. Same with like the glittery ones. I used to hate those, but I kind of like it now. So I guess those were all of the things that we tried. Oh, the eyeliner. I forgot about the eyeliner. The eyeliner, I really, really like this. I think this is beautiful. The only complaint that I had is, like I said earlier, I wish the applicator was a little bit thicker, and I'm also worried that this is going to transfer throughout the day. Usually any kind of eyeliner that's not a black eyeliner that really settles down is going to transfer into my crease because I do have hooded eyes. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that, and I will update you guys in like a later video and we can see how I end up liking these. But so far I think that looks beautiful. Yeah, I honestly think that everything looks really good. I like the lipstick as well, so I would say that today's video was a win for sure. Let me know if you tried any of these products and how you feel about them. I would love to know. If you want to see some other first impression videos, which I have plenty of on my channel, you can click on one of these. And if you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one.